We started off our day here at the famous Shibuya crosswalk, and as you guys can see, this was quite the show, but this was not really what I came for. We came for Pokemon cards. So we started off, this is the Pokemon Card Lounge, which is right there next to the crossing, and there's a few stores, a lot of shops near there, there's a Starbucks and stuff, but I had to show you guys these giant Pokemon cards. We got the Mewtwo, there's Charizard, Reshiram, tons of cool cards that were really cool to see. This store didn't really sell that many cards per se, but it was a lounge for playing the TCG. Over here they had accessories like playmats, we got sleeves, deck boxes. They did have some packs available, I think, at the counter. I didn't end up purchasing anything here, but it was cool to see because we were headed to the Pokemon Center next, so I kind of figured I would save. Yeah, you can see some pre-made decks that they had here. I think most of this stuff was at the Pokemon Center as well, and this is their little lobby, and then they had a cool section where you could actually sit down and play the TCG, which I thought was a pretty cool setup. There's a few people in there playing, as you guys can see. The Pokemon Center was on the 4th floor, and it was right next to a huge Nintendo store. It was super cool to see. They had so much awesome stuff like this giant Mewtwo in the tube. Super cool. I was excited to see that. And then as we came into the main entrance to the Pokemon Center, they had so many plushies and shirts and Boy Coco up there. And yeah, the amount of merchandise at this Pokemon Center was absolutely insane. If you guys are ever in the area, you have to stop by. Here's some more of those pre-made decks that they had at the last store. You can see some of them here. I ended up getting some sleeves here. I think I picked out some Gyarados sleeves, and then we ended up getting a few boxes. It is important to note that from the Pokemon Center, they do give you the box, but they were cutting the shrink wrap off. So I just got a few boxes to open since the shrink wrap was already off. So that was still cool, but so much awesome accessories and man, just so much stuff I didn't even know about. We stopped and played some Pokemon Go while we were in line. This was the first dedicated card shop we went to. It was Shogun City Stars, and it was a small card shop that you had to go up this little spiral staircase to get to. And they had a pretty decent selection of cards. I would say that some of the prices probably weren't the best as far as like market value. It was a little bit overpriced on some of the cards. We didn't really end up picking up anything from here, but it was cool to see. I was hunting for the CD promo Charizard, and they had one. And right here, this is me inspecting it. They were asking a lot for it, and the front looked really good, but there was a ding on the back, unfortunately. So I ended up not picking up this Charizard, and hopefully in one of the future days I'll be able to pick one up. The next card shop that we went to was called Mandarake, and this is the entrance here, and it was underground. You had to go down quite a ways to get to the store there. Pokemon cards that they had were way back in the back of the store. The store was massive. Once you got in there, it was wild to see how much space they had. They had some newer stuff, some vintage stuff. I actually ended up picking up a few vintage holos from here. Once again, not the best pricing overall. Most of that in this adorable Bulbasaur there. They had e-reader stuff. They had a lot of cool stuff here. But yeah, I only picked up a few cards. I think there was a few Magnetons and stuff, some vintage holo stuff. And then they had these cool binders off to the side. And I was taking a look at these older, I think they were from 1996. I ended up picking up a few of these. They were pretty cool. But yeah, they had a nice little selection. So if you're in the area, this is definitely worth checking out. It's not, like I said, not the best pricing overall, but still cool. And I did pick up a few cards here, so yeah, it was definitely worth the visit. This is me checking out, purchasing the cards, and then we went to this is another hole-in-the-wall kind of shop, and we had to go up. I think it was on the 6th floor, I believe, and this was the entrance, and there was a lot of people in here playing the TCG, which was cool to see. I don't think I ended up purchasing anything from this store, but they had a lot of modern alt arts, as you guys can see up there. They had a pretty decent selection of stuff. Lots of Pikachus, and they had the Unigaba evolutions. This was a tiny store, but they had a pretty decent collection. And like I said, there was a lot of people playing the TCG, so that was cool to see. They were off to the left of this display case that we're looking at here. Then this is the last card store of the day. It was in the Modi building on the 7th floor, and this is Magi Poke, and they had a pretty decent selection of stuff as well. From here, I didn't really purchase any singles, but it was cool just to see what they had. They had a nice TCG playing area as well, and they had a great selection of stuff. I asked them if they had the CD promo Charizard. I didn't see it in the case, and they looked it up and they did not have a copy. So another store that I was not able to get the Charizard at, but it was really cool to see just all of these cards and just take a look at them. They had some PSA graded cards down here in the bottom. They had the Pikachu, the Poncho Pikachu box, very expensive. It's cool to see a lot of these other boxes they had in this display case. And then they had some more graded stuff over here, which was pretty cool to see. I wasn't sure how much PSA graded stuff we were going to see, but there's the Mario Pikachu there. We'll come back to that in a second. But yeah, this was, if you're in Shibuya, there's definitely some stores that are worth seeing. All of these were worth checking out, even if you're not going to be purchasing anything. It's just cool to check out these cards and yeah, just experience these Japanese card stores. But that is going to do it for this one. I'll catch you in the next one, and remember, it was never a phase.